moms pushing proms, baby daddy drama. Escape a charge, smash your surveillance camera. Release your anger, babies rashes from Pampers. See babies today, do lady saw dances. Run dad through the system, few bills a week for support. He controls support, but you show him as weak. To have you independent and your child dependent. Every good thing is you, not the Jesus pendant. Bus drivers, school face at Empress that want the ramp down for strollers, but not handicapped. All of you into shoes and light booze, running around with Satanists for no progress. Sister, go read the ISIS papers, activate the higher self so the Christ can save us. Humble and virtuous, not loud, real quiet. Put a thought in your man's head and start a riot. Put a fire on the forest, blame Mother Nature. You should only seek for higher through the lower nature. Sons run the house, slapping up their mom and cussing, going crazy from no discipline or ass busting. Nowadays youth ask, what's licks? You got hit with a belt and it left a well. Teachers used to beat you with permission from your dad. In the Bible it says it's a sin to be a fag. Who's Nuwaupians? What's nationality versus nationalism? What's isms, what's schism? How do you know this? What, I'm the white man? If money is paper, why risk my life for grand? I grew up doing small crime, never saw big time. Many slip, not doing some big time. Playing a game where rules can bend to break power relations between you and your friends. Batter ran your girlfriend's front door, guns drawn. Her mom was visiting, now their relations torn. Cause of you being a nigga, I see Nas in suits. Him and Khalees, no drama like Chris and Rihanna. So blinded by beliefs in blind faith, mad at the system when you're the basket case on ranges, branded with numbers like cattle. Property not like land and called shadow. Stuck in a cell to energize the bad where they leave you charged, but knee in your back is part of procedure. With severe assault or abuse of rights, cowards saw law, but courts have business hours. Proof they don't do it for the profit, right? They build rockets, Jews fiat exchange for rings and lockets. I see they will never stop this. Make sure nationality cards in your pockets. Nowadays youth ask, what's licks? You got hit with a belt and it left a well. Teachers used to beat you with permission from your dad. In the Bible it says it's a sin to be a fag. Who's Nuwaupians? What's nationality versus nationalism? What's isms, what's schism? How do you know this? What, I'm the white man? If money is paper, why risk my life for grands? Rise blazing, children are playing. At the same time, thugs are spraying, and 50 is saying, rob and shoot to murder. Make that loot, T.I. will do a year. You live in an orange suit in corporate Toronto. Task forces made by police chiefs with names like mafia bosses. Politicans making minorities rape victims. That's war crimes to international court systems. De facto governments are touched on subordinates, usurping with color, distract with ornaments. Made in China, on making money their minds are. 300 profit as retail. Taught and thought avalanche will stop when we bail. Universal gods will help when we hail. Goddess that brought forth gods on earth to take the sovereignty back from the frauds on earth. Those Albion lords and duchess are pseudo-sovereign. True inheritors' rituals heat earth like an oven. Million-degree flares burn down homes. Pioneers turn to smooth black stones. Nowadays youth ask, what's licks? You got hit with a belt and it left a well. Teachers used to beat you with permission from your dad. In the Bible it says it's a sin to be a fag. Who's Nuwaupians? What's nationality versus nationalism? What's isms, what's schism? How do you know this? What, I'm the white man? If money is paper, why risk my life for grands? Nowadays youth ask, what's licks? You got hit with a belt and it left a well. Teachers used to beat you with permission from your dad. In the Bible it says it's a sin to be a fag. Who's Nuwaupians? What's nationality versus nationalism? What's isms, what's schism? How do you know this? What, I'm the white man? If money is paper, why risk my life for grands?
Islam Moors, back again for round two. Round two of Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. January 8th, the solar return of one of the greatest to ever do it. Ever do what? Ever try to liberate our people. But, you know, people been playing games, want to play like they don't know what's going on. Want to pretend like they don't know what's going on. So we got the Holy Koran, circle 7. You can see this might not be the one that you usually see. You know, because everybody's known. Everybody's known. But their job is to play games with our people. Stay playing games. Their job is to play games with our people. Because everybody knew. Everybody's known. And they did things to try to show you that they know. But unfortunately, our people's attention span is so short that they miss stuff that's right in their face. I want to give honors to Dr. Malachi York L. Melchizedek, who was one of the people that tried to let you know. And look what they did to him. Look what they did to him. He part earned it because he was playing reclaim everything and throw it in these people's face. And they weren't having that. They were like, nah, we can't have that. Because if these people take everything back, it's really over for us. Now there's some discrepancies. Because Noble Drew Ali told all these Moors, don't mark your fez. Be clean and pure like your prophet. Well, a lot of these people took Noble Drew Ali's teachings, thought they could do whatever they want to do. When this doesn't go like that. You better be aligned with what Noble Drew Ali's laid down. Because if you're not aligned with what Noble Drew Ali's laid down, don't worry, you're about to get injured. And it's going to be on you when you get injured. But it doesn't take away from the work that was done to try to get our people in the right place. Because he could have said no fezzes. He could have said, don't call yourself L. He could have not said Moors. He could have did all the things that all the other traders did. He tried, but, in the end, he turned around. And then when they were trumping up their little charges on him or whatever like that, he was in there, not with this fez on, not with the black fez with the ankh on it. He was in there with the clean and pure red fez of the Moors. And then once everybody saw that, they realized where he was at, they were supposed to jump on board at that point. Right back to what Noble Drew Ali said. If you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Science Temple of America. But, they didn't want to be Moors. They wanted to be Nuwaupian. They thought motherships were coming for them and all that. They thought they were going to leave here and go to planet X and all that BS. Where you going? You got pyramids and all that stuff right here. Where you going? Where are you trying to go to? When you check the record, you realize that he did certain things for these people called Nuwaupians. And one of the things that he did was put out hardcover Holy Koran circle 7 for these Nuwaupians to get their stuff together and come back home. When they do that, nah, they buried this. So Nuwaupians can't even have access to this because this is buried. And I know that this is buried because I got this from one of the Moors near Atlanta who was Nuwaupian, that was one of the distributors of this. And he told me they are burying this. And I know that you're a Moor, so I got 2 left. Right? That's what they were running them for, 35 notes. Say, I got 2 left. And I'm going to sell one to you. So at least you have it as a Moor. And you could let these people know what's up. That Dr. York wasn't tripping. He wasn't pedophile. He wasn't touching no children. He wasn't molesting any women or none of that. He was on point with where this thing was supposed to be. That's why they got him out of circulation. Because he was one of the last ones to do it. Take what Noble Drew Ali brought, apply it, and save our people. What'd they do? Send in their little infiltrators, who all of them recanted all their statements after, and they still gave him some 300 years or whatever. Because these people sold out. Not because he did something, because jurisdiction is assumed with these colonists. And you just give them a sliver of space and they're squeezing through. They're squeezing through. They had a sliver of space. So we want to give honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali for being an inspiration to Dr. Malachi York. And having Dr. Malachi York put out the Holy Koran, Circle 7, that Noble Drew Ali dropped. Remember, this is the same guy who none of his books, 99 books or whatever, none of them have a bibliography. None of them gives honors to anybody but him. But he made sure he put out the Holy Quran, Circle 7, for these Nuwaupians though. Why did he put that out? Why did he do that? Obviously, he honored Noble Drew Ali. Supremely honored Noble Drew Ali. If he's going to put out Noble Drew Ali's book, he ain't put out anybody else's book other than his books. 99 plus books Dr. Malachi York put out. And the only other individual's book that he put out is Noble Drew Ali's book. And you think that he has 99 books. And the only book from some other individual that he put out is Noble Drew Ali's book. You think this isn't real? Remember, he had the land and all that stuff locked. He beat them when they were trying to put charges on him about he can't build. He had the pyramids built and all that. And matter of fact, they were going across the highway to go get the land on the other side of the highway because that was what some European owned, and they were just giving that to him on the strength of, we see what you're doing for your people. They're not going to tell you about that part. They're not going to go talk to them Europeans on the other side of the highway. Go ask any of these Nuwaupians. Where's their Holy Quran Circle 7 at? And keep in mind that the holy tablets also had the Holy Quran Circle 7 in it. Go ask any Nuwaupian to go pull out their holy tablets right now. The whole Holy Quran Circle 7 is in the holy tablets. Because he already knew what these traders were going to do. Bury this. He already knew what the traders were going to do. He knew they were going to bury this. He knew they were going to bury the Nuwaupian nation of Moors. He knew they were going to bury it. So he also put the Holy Koran, Circle 7, Noble Drew Ali's divinely prepared literature in their Nuwaupian holy book called the Holy Tablets, white book, little flimsy cover, looks like a Bible if you really don't know what you're looking at. Ask any of these Nuwaupians. They're going to deny that and tell you about Tamaray and all this BS. They ain't Tamaray. This is Morocco. They knew this. They were taught by the master teacher, Malachi Yorkel. They were taught by him. And they can't tell me that they don't know. That was the issue that we had with the Nuwaupians here. Oh yeah, we know Noble Drew Ali and we are honors and okay, so how come y'all don't just say that you're Moors? No, because we're Nuwaupian and we have our... No, you're not Nuwaupian. I saw your seal. Your seal says Nuwaupian nation of Moors. Your seal says Nuwaupian nation of Moors. He wasn't pushing some Nuwaupian is the nation. Moors was the nation. Moors is the nation. Nuwaupians not the nation. Go ask any of them. And if they tell you anything other than what Dr. Malachi York is telling you right now, know that they're traitors. And they sold out too. Which is why, again, we're in the situation that we're in as a people. Because everybody has sold us out. Everybody has sold us out to the highest or the lowest bidder. You think Nuwaupians don't know who Noble Drew Ali is? They even got a color picture of him. I got a color picture of Noble Drew Ali. What did he know? He knew everything that the Moors knew. How you think he were able to get the land and all that stuff in Georgia? How'd they do it? Forget they. How'd he do it? Because they claimed that they were Moors, the heirs to the land. You even know what's up. The Holy Koran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. He knows so much, he even said Moorish Holy Temple of Science. He didn't even say Moorish Science Temple. That's how much he knew. That's how much he knew. He didn't do his own thing. He took Noble Drew Ali's divinely prepared work, made it a hardcover book. Made it hardcover. He didn't play that soft cover Holy Tablets BS. He made it hardcover so it'll last the test of time. What'd they do? What'd they do? Trump up charges on him. Because the stuff was locked down with Dr. York. It was locked down. These people didn't have no wiggle room. It was over. All everybody had to do was declare who they were. But nah, they didn't do that. They want to play. They're from some different planet and all that stuff. But they're claiming land here. And waiting for motherships. Know yourself and your Father God Allah. That you learn to love instead of hate. Every man need to worship under his own vine and fig tree. The uniting of Asia. Laid it all down for these people. Remember, this is a Nuwaupian book. Just to remind you, of anybody who's late. This is not Moorish Science Temple right now. This is not Moorish Holy Temple of Science right now. This is Nuwaupian. And their founder, Dr. Malachi York, is a L. And a L is Moorish nationality, not Nuwaupian nationality. L is Moorish. Why are they taking this position that they're Tamaray and all that stuff? Why don't they fess up? Because they sold him out. They sold him out to the point where when he wasn't even arrested on the land. He was arrested shopping in some supermarket or something like that. They didn't even arrest him on the land. So how they know where he was? If they went in there guns blazing for him and he wasn't there, how they know where he was? Somebody on the inside sold out. We don't know who. I'm not Nuwaupian. But I know somebody sold him out. Without a shadow of a doubt, I know somebody sold him out. He knows all this. Who's he talking to? If this book was for the Nuwaupians, right? If this book right here was for the Nuwaupians, who is he talking to in this thing? The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate, and to know his higher self and lower self. This is the uniting of the Holy Koran of Mecca for the teaching and instructing of all Moorish Americans, etc. Who are you talking to? Some black guys? No, he's talking to Nuwaupians. So how come they're saying that they're not Moors? How do they know that they're Nuwaupians, but they don't know that they're Moors? But their founder and master teacher, who they say they love and, they're going around petition, get him out of jail and all that type of stuff, he's a L. If he's a L, that means he's a Moor. These people are going to play games with you until the cows come home. And you look around and cows coming home. So this stuff is over. Your people have hung you out to dry. You better take this stuff serious and stop playing around. But again, Nobujwali told the Moors, it's only going to be a handful saved with fingers left over. So we ain't even concerned with who gets out of this or not. Whoever wants to get out of this will get out of this by taking Nobujwali serious, like Dr. York L. did. Right? Dr. Malachi York never repped anybody else. Never, ever, ever did he rep anybody else but himself and his face and his name. Never did he rep anybody else. But he's repping Nobujwali. This is a book for the Nuwaupians. He's got who did he know? He's got high quality pictures in here. This is a high quality painting of, this is not some stuff you're going to find online. Picture clear like this of Nobujwali. You're not finding this online. All the stuff they got on Nobujwali, black and white and grainy and all that stuff. This is clear. You're not even getting a Circle 7 clear like this online. Just Google Circle 7, see what comes up. Lopsided stuff. Oblong stuff. How he get stuff like this? So precise, pristine. How he get this? Who would he know? He knew somebody. Even this black and white picture is clear. You can still see features. The greatest man to ever live, Noble Drew Ali, as far as these Asiatics in America are concerned. The only one to tell you the truth about your nationality and your birthrights. Like, you know how clear this picture is? You're not getting this online. You better do your screenshotting and stuff like that. You want pictures of the Prophet. Screenshot this. Frame this. There you go. Frame that. What did Malachi York know? What did he know? That he got these clear pictures like this to put in Noble Drew Ali's divinely prepared book called The Holy Koran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, nicknamed the Circle 7. Noble Drew Ali, 1886 AD to 1929 AD, the prophet and founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America to redeem the people from their sinful ways. Who did he know? He put everything up in here? Noble Drew, Dr. Malachi York didn't rep for anybody but Dr. Malachi York. Just go look at all his books and see that there's no bibliography. He's not telling you any sources. He's the source. But he got a book. He got the Sultan in here. He's got the Sultan in here. He's got some of the clearest pictures of Noble Drew Ali ever to be seen. Who's he know? Don't forget, Morris, you can get your screenshot of this. So you have a good, clean picture of the Prophet. Clean picture. And then there's a close-up so you can, let me get my shadow out of the way. Now that's a picture of the Prophet. Not that stuff that these people are giving out now with grainy ass pictures talking about that's the picture. Oh yeah, Noble Drew Ali. This is a picture of the Prophet right here. Black and white, clean. There's the Sultan tit. No, we don't need a picture. The Holy Quran, Circle 7. Right? Remember, this is Dr. Malachi York giving you everything, giving you all the keys that Noble Drew Ali brought. And then remember, this was for all the Nuwaupians. Right? Remember, this is for the Nuwaupians. This is not yours. Remember, if you weren't part of the Nuwaupian nation of Moors, you didn't have access to this stuff. This was all in-house. This was all in-house. So they have this in-house, and people are playing like nobody knows who Noble Drew Ali is or whatever. Oh, all right. Okay. The Holy Quran, Circle 7. The Moorish Science Temple of America, deriving its power and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad to propagate the faith and extend the learning and truth of the great prophet of Ali in America. The great prophet of Ali in America. To appoint and consecrate missionaries of the prophet and to establish the faith of Muhammad in America. The Holy Quran, Circle 7, is the book of the 7 seals mentioned in the biblical scriptures. Opening of the 7 seals, this is what they're talking about. When the Christian says the revelations open of the 7 seals and everything are revealed to you and all that stuff, this is what they're talking about. Because the opener of the 7 seals was the God man that realized who the hell that he was. which gave him the power to open the book. Prophet Noble Ali divinely prepared these lessons through the guidance of Allah. These lessons are to be studied by all members. Remember, he's talking to Nuwaupians. To help better their lives and learn to love instead of hate. Included in the Circle 7 is the 18 years of Jesus' life, works and teachings which are missing from the King James Version of the Holy Bible. Please study the Circle 7. It is a great source of inspiration, which is necessary in order to live day by day. Find me Nuwaupian who brought this up to you. Noble Ali's teachings. Nah, they want to keep espousing Dr. York's teachings. When Dr. York is telling you, please study the Circle 7. It is a great source of inspiration which is necessary in order to live day by day. It's necessary in order to live day by day. It's necessary in order to live day by day. These people don't know what's going on? You really think they don't know? Everybody knows. Problem is, you weren't told. Right? Everything's in there. The genealogy of Isa, with 18 years of the events, life, works, and teachings in India, Europe, and Africa. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. These secret lessons are for all those who love Isa and desire to know about his life, works, and teachings. Right? And then what did he do? What did he do? What did he do for all these Nuwaupians or whatever who were confused and talking about, well, I don't have that because of Jesus and all. Oh, yeah, he switched it to Isa. So you're not confused. He gave you the metaphysical lesson. He gave you the divine lesson that ain't nobody named Jesus was walking around or whatever. That's Isa. Dear reader, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Isa. Dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones, that they may learn to love instead of hate. Dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones. He's talking about the whole stuff or no? Let's just see what's going on here. Let's just see what's going on here. Because it is clear that somebody's been playing games. They've been playing so much games that it's not even funny anymore, the games these people have been playing. It's not funny anymore. Right? Teach these lessons to your little ones, mothers. Right? Here's the lessons that you're supposed to teach to your little ones. Holy instructions for thy children. Consider thou art a parent, the importance of thy trust. The being thou hast produced, it is thy duty to support for all you deadbeats out there. The reason why you're a deadbeat is because you didn't listen and read the holy instructions for your children. If you listened to the holy instructions for your children, your ass wouldn't be a deadbeat right now, having to pay child support and all that stuff, because it's your duty to support because you brought them here, parent. Upon thee also it dependeth whether the child of thy bosom is a blessing or a curse to thyself. Remember, these were the lessons that were brought to the Nuwaupians. Remember, this is the Nuwaupian Holy Koran, hardcover. Only hardcover book that Doc put out for these people to get their act together, so they could stop being niggers. They don't want that. they bury this and tell you about, planet risk and all this type of BS. So they don't have to deal with their responsibilities that they created on the earth plane because they want to be long dong silver and pine everything out here and have 50 billion children, and then all of them are some goddamn curses to humanity, killing people and all that stuff. Where do you think they get that from? They got that. They're acting like WAP and all that stuff because they weren't given the lessons as children. And then the parents didn't have the lessons because they're listening to some dumbass, opposed to listening to the prophet Noble Drew Ali, who brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Remember, upon thee also it dependeth whether the child of thy bosom is a blessing or a curse to thyself, a useful or a worthless member to the community. That's because of the parents. When you see little John acting like a nigger, and little LaQuisha acting like a dingbat, don't look at them. Why are they doing that? They shouldn't do that. Look at their dumbass parents. And go check their parents. Don't worry about trying to correct them. Don't worry about them. They're doing what their parents taught them how to do. Why? Because they didn't have these lessons. This is the importance of Noble Drew Ali. You ask any Moorish American who has children that applied these lessons to their children. These children are the most brilliant. These children are the most well self-respected young people that you will ever experience. You'll be wondering, damn, who the hell is, who's this? Who's your mom and dad? That's what's supposed to be going on when you meet children. You're supposed to look at the children and automatically know that, oh wow, these parents are doing a great job with these children. They're so respectable and they don't yell and they're not out of order. Their pants not down here. Prepare him early with instructions and season his mind with the maxims of truth. Watch the bent of his inclinations. Set him right in his youth, and let no evil habit gain strength with his years. So shall he rise like a cedar on the mountains. His head be seen above the trees of forests. A wicked son is a reproach to his father, but he that is right can honor his gray hairs. The soil is thine own. Let it not want cultivation. The seed which thou sowest, that also shalt thou reap. The seed which thou sowest, that also shalt thou reap. So your little daddy issues and mommy issues that you never dealt with because your parents were clowns, don't pass that stuff on to your children and have them suffering the same way you're suffering being single and don't know what to do because the dad is a deadbeat and all that stuff. Don't be passing on the same stuff to them. Take the lessons that Noble Drew Ali brought for you, the lessons that are supposed to be holy instructions for thy children. That way, your gray hairs could be honorable. You could look at your gray hairs with pride instead of plucking them out because you already know you didn't earn those. Don't take it personal. Don't start blaming because she there. No, look at yourself. Look at your life. Look at how your parents dealt with you. Guarantee you, If you check your life, your parents' history, and how they dealt with you, you realize why you're either doing what's good so that something can happen properly. You realize why you're doing good and being a great example to your children, or why you got to keep taking their PS5 or whatever like that because they're out of order. And you got to take away all their hair products and their face products and stuff like that. They can't use the washroom by themselves because, they're putting on freaking whatever and twerking for some 50-year-old on Instagram. Teach him obedience, and he shall bless thee. Teach modesty, and he shall not be ashamed. Teach him gratitude, and he shall receive benefits. Teach him charity, he shall gain love. Teach him temperance, and he shall haste health. Teach him prudence, and fortune shall attend him. Teach him justice, and he shall be honored by the world. Teach him sincerity, and his own heart shall not reproach him. Teach him diligence, and his wealth shall increase. Teach him benevolence, and his mind shall be exalted. Teach him science, and his life shall be useful. Teach him religion, and his death shall be happy. You think Noble Ali wasn't the man? You think he didn't know exactly what he was doing by giving certain lessons to our people? Right. And then, of course, man and wife instructions so you can get your stuff together in the household before you even start having these children or whatever like that. Get your relationship stuff together, because you already know children emulate the parents. Children don't learn from reading. Children learn from watching what your dumbass or what your righteous ass is doing. You doing righteous, then your children are going to do righteous. You a man whore, then your son is going to be a man whore just like you are. Because trust, he's watching. And on top of your unity lessons, you even get your individual lessons, husband, so you don't get crazy thinking that you run something out over here. You don't run jack. Right? You don't run jack. Let's go back again. Right. Right, remember, doesn't just say teach him religion. You're teaching him religion so his death shall be happy. Which goes back to the Ministry of Death chapter. Because remember, what Drew Ali did was lay down everything. So whether in life or in death, we'll be all right. All right? Now, what you have to do is go look up the etymology of religion. And then when you look up the etymology of religion and you realize that religion doesn't have nothing to do with church and Jesus and all that stuff, that ain't nothing to do with that. That's nothing to do with it. Now you realize these traitors who are talking BS about religion because they didn't even look it up to know what it is. What they call religion is really dogma. If these Moors frown on the word religion, if they frowned on the word dogma, you wouldn't be confused. It's those Moors that have you confused about religion. It's the same Moors who have people thinking that what Noble Drew Ali brought was some religious whatever, when it's the same stuff that the deists got. The metaphysical, allegorical lessons that are going to save humanity. Because that's the only thing that's left. Everything else is corrupt and is not going to do anything for you. Everything else is corrupt. Right? Dear fathers, by these lessons, you can set your house in order, and your children would learn to love instead of hate. Going back again to, once you're reading those chapters in the Koran, teaching your children certain things, right? Because remember, the children are watching you. The children are watching what you're doing. They don't care what you say. You say whatever. What are you doing? What living example are the children seeing? What's the living example? Right? So for example, let me just go get this thing. Just to show you about the living example. Right? Just to show you the living example. I don't got no children, but I got nieces. Right? When the nieces make me birthday cards or whatever, they put me with feathers up. Because they see this to know that this is what it is. They see this. They didn't assume that this is how uncle looks. Because children emulate what you do. They don't care what you say. You could say whatever you want. They're looking at what you do. They're looking at what you do. And based on what you do, they're going to show you that you're either doing good or you're a clown. Because children are, they're honest with themselves. They're not hiding stuff like the adults. They're going to tell you, hey, you got a booger in your nose, uncle. Oh, thanks. Thanks for that. Thanks for getting that booger in my nose that I just came from the store talking to 50 people. Nobody said I have a booger in my nose. Nobody? Nobody said I had the white stuff around my mouth? Nobody? Everybody just looked at the white stuff in my mouth, didn't even say, hey, you got some white stuff on your mouth, let's wipe that off. You go, hey, how you doing, little boy? You have white stuff on your mouth. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks, little boy, who I don't know. Didn't even care to tell me. Hey, your zipper's down. Hey, you got airplanes on your underwear. How come you got airplanes on your underwear? What are you talking about? Oh, you know what? Airplanes on my underwear. Your zipper's down. Oh. All these adults walking around. Nobody said, hey, sister, your dress is in your panty right now and your ass is showing. They're gonna laugh and snicker. So the innocence of the children is important to protect. Because that innocence is divinity. That innocence that they lose by the time they get to whatever age, then because of them, because of the dumbass parents or dumbass guardians that they got. Didn't bring them up with the maxims of truth. Straight lying to them. And them Jesus and Santa Claus and Easter bunnies and go give me your tooth to put it under the pillow. The fairy's gonna come give you some. Lying. What do you think is gonna happen when they find out the truth? Do you think they're gonna look at you honorable? Think they're gonna respect the fact that you said make sure you come home at 10 o'clock and all that stuff? Pfft. Nigga, please. I'll be coming back at 12. You told me about tooth fairies and stuff like that. Now you're telling me to come inside on time? Get the hell out of here. Make sure you get when the street lights come on. Pfft. Please. Streetlight's been on for 2 hours. You not home yet? How come? Because parent didn't have enough respect to tell them the maxims of truth. So why would they be truthful with you? You don't have to be their friend to know the truth. These parents are, well, I want to be a friend to my daughter because, no, you don't. No, you don't want to be their friend. You want to be their parent that fed them with the maxims of truth. So they feed you with the maxims of truth. We went to uncle's house and he had his hand on my knee and then he was they'll let you know what's up. Not gonna lie, not gonna hide stuff. They'll tell you. As hard as it would be to tell, they'll tell you. They'll let you know. Why would they let you know? Because you let them know. You were honest with them. As hard as it was to be honest with them, because all the other children are celebrating Christmas and all their friends are getting gifts and stuff like that. Ain't no wrong with giving them gifts on Christmas. Just let them know Santa Claus didn't bring them. I bought these. Santa Claus came down the chimney in an apartment building to give you some stuff. What are you talking about? No, I ate those cookies that we put out there. I drank the milk. The European coming in the hood, running around with gifts. Nobody robbed him? Please. What are you talking about? The lessons of this pamphlet are not for sale, but for the sake of humanity. As I am a prophet, and a servant is worthy of his hire. You can receive this pamphlet at expense. The reason these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed these secrets. Opening up the 7 seals, right? And for the first time in ages have these secrets been delivered in the hands of the Muslims of America. All authority and rights of publishing of this pamphlet of 1927 by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. The industrious acts of the Muslims of the Northwest and Southwest Africa. These are the Moabites, Hamathites, Canaanites, who were driven out of the land of Canaan by Joshua and received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in that portion of Egypt. In later years, they formed themselves kingdoms. These kingdoms are called this day Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, Egypt, all this stuff going across the whole northern front. From the renewer. The Holy Quran Circle 7 has been divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, born January 8, 1886, and died and assassinated on July 20th, 1929, which includes the lessons, was put out by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I, Dr. Malachi York, founder of the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek and Grand Master of HTM, in an effort to further uplift my Moorish American brothers and sisters who continue their spread of truth and unity amongst my Nubian brothers and sisters. You think he didn't know? And you think he didn't tell all these people? You think he didn't tell all these people what's up? All these Nuwaupians? They were told what was up. How come they're not talking like this today? Because all of them sold out. All of them sold out. Now we're suffering because all these people from Nation of Islam, Nuwaupian, UNIA, NAACP, Black Power, whatever, Hebrew Israelite, whatever, all of them sold out because all of them got these lessons and can't play like they don't know who Noble Drew Ali is when he's all these people's foundation. The Holy Quran, Circle 7, is not to be mistaken for the Koran, the holy book of the Eastern Islamic world, that of the Prophet Mustafa Muhammad Al-Amin of Arabia received, also called the Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah. This is not what Prophet Noble Drew Ali intended it to be mistaken as. There was another Muhammad called Mehmed, the first who ruled in 1413. Then you have his son Murad II ruling through 1421 to 1444 when he took sick and returned to the throne of 1446. And then in 1451 he was succeeded by Mehmed II, who was known as Faith or Muhammad II, Sultan of Turkey. They have all these Muhammads and nobody's not talking about them. Nobody's not talking about, hold on a second, all these different Muhammads and stuff like that. Nobody's talking about that. But as soon as you hear Noble Drew Ali, oh no, he's not a real prophet and he's a, what do you mean? How are we not challenging these people in Turkey and Jerusalem and all that? The second Sultan of Turkey, known also as Muhammad. You see where the reincarnated prophet people got this brilliant idea of being reincarnated prophets? Right? You get it now? How they sold you out? Instead of them just giving honors to the man, they want to be reincarnated versions. This is the same stuff. 5 different Muhammads at this point. All of them claiming to be a prophet. Please. Please. As Muhammad the Conqueror, born in 1429 and died in 1481 AD of Jerusalem, of the Turkish Ottoman Empire, which covered from Istanbul to Yemen, which included Mecca from Egypt to Baghdad. Between 1359, they were descendants of Uthman ibn Affan ibn Abil Asi, 574 to 656. The third Sunni Wahhabi Khalifa, married to 2 of the daughters of the Prophet Muhammad of Arabia, being Kulthum and Ruqiyya. This is a good name for any more looking for a name for yourself. Which would make them, through his marriage, direct descendants of Hagar, the Egyptian wife of Abraham, the Hebrew. The Egyptian wife of Abraham, the Hebrew. As descendants of Muhammad, through marriage, would make them a part of the great family of the chief protectors of the Islamic creed of Mecca, the founder of the uniting of Islam by the command of the great universal Allah, as explained in chapter 45, verse 7 of the Holy Quran, Circle 7. The Holy Quran, Circle 7 was compiled and put out in collaboration with Brother Eloah, A.L. Emmanuel, a member of the Moorish Science Temple since his birth, of a family of the original registered 1976 Moorish School of Law, blah, blah. Right? So they know what's up. But there's the countdown. Islam to all the Moors, worldwide. Peace and love to all the Moors. Remember, don't go too far, because we're not done. We'll be right back to give some more honors to his greatness.